The film opens with Columbus narrating the apocalyptic downfall of society. The audience learns that 2 months prior, a mutated strain of mad cow disease spread from animals to humans, turning them into flesh-eating zombies. The world has descended into chaos, with cities abandoned and highways littered with wreckage. The streets are filled with the undead, who mindlessly attack any living being in their path. Columbus introduces his rules for survival, his personal set of guidelines that have kept him alive in this brutal world. These rules, such as cardio, rule number 1, and double tap, rule number 2, are more than just survival tactics. They represent Columbus's overcautious nature, driven by fear. He highlights the importance of being constantly on guard, avoiding places where zombies can hide, like bathrooms. Beware of bathrooms. Rule number 3, and never getting too attached to anyone or anything, no attachments. Rule number 6. Despite this bleak environment, the film's tone is light, with a humorous voiceover from Columbus as he describes absurd yet practical rules like seatbelts. Rule number 4, advising survivors to buckle up in case of sudden zombie attacks while driving. Columbus explains how his introverted, cautious personality prepared him for a world of isolation and constant danger, but he's still on a mission to reunite with his family in Columbus, Ohio. As Columbus makes his way across the country, he encounters Tallahassee, a man whose entire approach to the apocalypse is the opposite of Columbus's. Where Columbus is fearful and methodical, Tallahassee is a brash, fearless zombie hunter who takes pleasure in killing zombies in the most creative and violent ways possible. Tallahassee's philosophy is simple: enjoy the little things, one of the core themes of the film. Tallahassee is not only a skilled survivor but also driven by a seemingly single-minded obsession: finding the last remaining Twinkies in the world. Despite his rough exterior and penchant for chaos, Tallahassee harbors deep emotional pain, but he masks it with his bravado and zombie-killing expertise. He tells Columbus that he misses his dog, Buck, who was killed by zombies, though the true nature of his loss won't be revealed until later in the film. The two team up, not out of friendship but necessity. While Columbus relies on his rules and careful planning, Tallahassee is the ultimate improviser, taking on hordes of zombies with a smile on his face and a thirst for vengeance. Despite their different personalities, they work well together as they navigate the dangerous, zombie-infested highways. Columbus begins to admire Tallahassee's confidence and bravery, while Tallahassee, though reluctant, starts to see potential in the young, cautious survivor. On the road, Columbus and Tallahassee's journey takes a detour when they encounter two sisters, Wichita and Little Rock. Wichita, the older sister, is a sharp, resourceful con artist who is fiercely protective of her younger sibling. Little Rock, though only 12 years old, has had to grow up quickly in the apocalypse and is just as savvy as her sister. The sisters trick Columbus and Tallahassee by pretending that Little Rock has been bitten by a zombie. They steal the men's weapons and their car, leaving them stranded in the middle of nowhere. This moment highlights Wichita's distrust of others, a survival instinct she developed to protect herself and Little Rock. For Wichita, trusting people in a world where death is constant means exposing yourself to emotional pain. Her relationship with Little Rock is the one thing she holds dear. The girl's con only reinforces Columbus's belief in rule number 17, don't be a hero. He sees Wichita's survival strategy as a reflection of his own rule about keeping attachments to a minimum. But this encounter also begins to chip away at his philosophy, as he finds himself increasingly drawn to Wichita. Columbus and Tallahassee, meanwhile, manage to find another vehicle, a yellow Hummer loaded with weapons. They pursue Wichita and Little Rock, leading to a confrontation where Tallahassee and Wichita engage in a standoff. This is where Columbus steps in, proposing an uneasy truce, reminding them that in a world overrun by zombies, they have bigger problems than fighting each other. With tension simmering but held in check, the group of four begins traveling together toward Pacific Playland, a Los Angeles amusement park that Wichita and Little Rock believe is free of zombies. It represents a glimmer of hope and the promise of normalcy, something none of them have experienced in a long time. During the journey, Columbus's attraction to Wichita grows, and though Wichita remains emotionally distant, it's clear she's starting to warm up to him. She begins to question her strict, trust no one mentality, especially after witnessing Columbus's willingness to protect her and Little Rock. As they bond, Columbus reflects on his survival rules, particularly rule number 6, no attachments. Despite the rule, Columbus finds it harder to remain detached from the group. His feelings for Wichita and the camaraderie forming with Tallahassee and Little Rock are making him realize that being emotionally distant isn't a way to truly live, even in a zombie apocalypse. When the group reaches Hollywood, Tallahassee suggests stopping at the mansion of actor Bill Murray, hoping to enjoy some luxury before continuing their journey. To their surprise, Bill Murray is still alive, having survived the apocalypse by disguising himself as a zombie. His makeup allows him to move freely among the undead without being attacked. Murray's introduction provides a moment of levity, as he entertains the group with his tales of blending in with zombies. The scene is filled with humor as Murray, Tallahassee, and Wichita prank Columbus and Little Rock by pretending that Murray is a real zombie. However, this light-hearted moment takes a darkly comic turn when Columbus, unaware that Murray is faking it, accidentally shoots and kills him. This scene highlights the unpredictable nature of the apocalypse, where death can come swiftly and unexpectedly, even for a beloved movie star. Tallahassee, a huge fan of Murray's work, is devastated but still manages to appreciate the absurdity of the situation. The group mourns Murray's death in their own quirky ways. Columbus and Wichita share a quiet moment, where they connect over their mutual understanding of loss and the absurdity of the world they now live in. Tallahassee, meanwhile, reveals the truth about his puppy, Buck. He was actually Tallahassee's son, who died during the outbreak. This revelation explains Tallahassee's deep-seated anger and his relentless quest for vengeance against the zombies. The group finally reaches Pacific Playland, where Wichita and Little Rock, in a moment of nostalgia and hope, activate all the rides and lights, believing that they've found a place free from zombies. But their celebration is short-lived as the park's bright lights and sounds attract a massive horde of zombies. Wichita and Little Rock find themselves trapped on a drop tower ride, surrounded by zombies. Columbus and Tallahassee arrive just in time, and the film's climax kicks into high gear. Tallahassee takes on a massive wave of zombies, displaying his impressive zombie-killing skills as he lures the undead toward an arcade booth and uses various weapons to pick them off one by one. His cathartic zombie-slaying spree is both intense and entertaining, showcasing his relentless determination to survive. Meanwhile, Columbus faces his greatest fear, a zombie clown, as he fights his way through the horde to rescue Wichita and Little Rock. He defies his own rule, don't be a hero, changing it to be a hero, as he puts his life on the line to save the people he cares about. In overcoming his fear of clowns and saving Wichita, Columbus proves that he's capable of bravery and leadership, shedding his neurotic tendencies in favor of action. After the battle, Wichita, impressed by Columbus's courage, lets her guard down and reveals her real name, Krista. This moment symbolizes her trust in Columbus and her willingness to form real connections, something she's avoided for so long. She kisses him, solidifying the romantic bond that has been developing throughout the film. With the zombies defeated and the group safe for now, they realize that they've become a family of sorts. Columbus, who began his journey alone, fearing attachment, has found companionship and even love. Tallahassee, who was haunted by the death of his son, now has a new surrogate family in Columbus, Wichita, and Little Rock. The film ends on an optimistic note as the group drives away from Pacific Playland.